Goaltending and defense, and if you have a good one of both, you're tough to beat.
You start from there, you work yourself from the goaltender defense on out, and you can win a lot of more 1-0, 2-1 games than you do 10-9. So
that's right.
Defense is the key.
Well, the Little Red have been introduced. Right now, the Massena Red Raiders are being introduced, starting with goaltender Weissay LaFrance, and I'm sure he'll see a lot of rubber tonight.
This is Weissay's fourth start. He's coming into tonight's action with a goals against average of 4.46. He'd really like to bring that down to a save percentage of .827. He has one shutout, and he comes into tonight's contest with a 1-1 record.
Starting on the blue line, Jacob Whitcup, the hero from Potsdam, scored a goal with, 1.3 seconds left in the game.
His grandparents, and I say grandparents, the Whitcups and the Robinsons had to be really pleased, not only the parents, but I know the grandparents quite well, and they're a great family, so they had to be quite excited after Jacob got 1.3 seconds left in the game.
Danny Miller, the other defenseman, and we'll pick up the rest of the line on the other wing. Off the face-off, we're underway here. The puck goes back to the Ithaca line. They flip it ahead, and right back in Massena territory it comes. Here's a shot, and Weissay LaFrance has to make his first save. Thomas Wise broke down the right side and kind of got a half a step on the defenseman and got a shot off.
Well, he's got a quick gear, that Wise. He just accelerated by the Raider defenseman.
Face-off left side in the Massena zone. Off the draw, Raiders win it. Miller clears it around the boards. Adam Smith after it, out to center ice, gets away from him. Bounce back to the Massena blue line. There's a battle as they fight for it along the red line. Now it's poke-checked in the Massena zone. Puck in the corner. Racing after it is Whitcup. He'll pick it up and start out. From right to left, along the boards, Trent Thomas lost it. Flipped ahead. It's intercepted by Wise. He goes back to the point. Here's a shot deflected in behind the net. Miller takes a wave at it. Can't find it, but it's knocked down in front and picked up by Thomas, who drops to Whitcup, who bangs it off the boards to center ice. Cody Neustraub there for Ithaca. His pass intercepted. Trent Thomas dumps it back in the Ithaca zone. Neustraub again. Raiders making changes here as the Little Red trying to go in the zone. Miller knocks the puck away. It bounces free, and it's picked up there by Yale Lair. In behind, here's Miller stealing the puck off his stick. Miller, headman pass. Sean Petrie trying to bust his way through, but it's knocked away. He follows up, comes up with a puck. Here's Petrie trying to center. It's deflected into the corner. There's a battle for it. Petrie now, they try to keep it in the zone out by the blue line, and it trickles out to center ice, where Evan Labarge will gather it in and slide it right back inside. Around the boards it comes. Raiders try to keep it in. That's Horan. Back to the blue line and down the ice. That's going to be an icing call against the Little Red and move the faceoff back inside Ithaca territory. No score. We're just underway here. Second game of our tournament. A real nice field for this tournament. First game, Saratoga defeated West Genesee 4-1. We're just underway in the second game with no score. Massena, Ithaca.
Mentioned Ithaca 6-0-1 league-wise. They're out of the Central New York League. They're 2-0 with wins over West Genny and Fayetteville Manwitz.
Off the faceoff, puck back to the blue line, kept in nicely by Alan Borden. He'll dump it in behind the net. Mark Darling battling for it. Darling comes away with the puck along the boards, back to the point. Borden with it. His pass knocked away. He kind of telegraphed that pass, and it's knocked out to center ice. Battling around at the red line. Finally, it's picked up there by the Little Red, and they'll take it inside the Massena zone. That's Seiler. Seiler dumps it in behind the net. Raiders trying to clear it around the board. Don't get it out of the zone. Here's a shot from the point, knocked down in front. And following up, almost went in the net as racing for the puck was Erickson. But now Massena clears it out to center ice. Dump right back in the Massena zone. And in the corner it goes. Out there is Ian Maxwell for Massena on defense. Maxwell and Alan Borden. Darling can't come up with the puck. Here's a backhander in the net. And Ithaca will score an early goal. And again, Weissay LaFrance had the stick across, but it just rolled up over the stick and into the net. And it's going to be Thomas Wise getting the goal on the backhand, but Ithaca goes up 1-0.
Again, an early goal and somewhat tad soft. Weissay would like to have that one back, but Ithaca started that with winning the battle along the boards. They won the control of the puck, and when the Raiders had an opportunity, and then just flipped it out in front. Wise, a soft little backhander that he got the goaltender going down a little too early.
Wise will get the goal. Brian Welch will pick up the assist. Puck back in the Massena zone. Miller throws a check. The puck tied up in the corner. That's Whitcup, and he comes away with the puck. Here's Whitcup along the sideline. He'll take it out of the zone. Headman pass, Adam Smith. Smith just slides it into the zone. Back after it is Mike Brennan, Ithaca defenseman. He loses the puck on a nice check by Trent Thomas. Smith comes up with a puck, trying to flip it in front, but it's deflected, and back come the Little Red. To the Massena line and all the way down the ice. The long head man's going to go for icing, but again, that was Thomas Wise almost catching up with it. 1-0. Little Red of Ithaca leading with 12:04 left in the first period.
And that goal coming at the 2:18 mark, Wise from Welsh. Again, 2:18, Little Red early goal, which is always a big confidence builder.
Face off left side inside Ithaca territory. Tubolino's line out for Massena. Off the draw, it comes to Ben Farr. Clears it around to the blue line, but not out of the zone. There's a battle for it. Kept in there at the point by Labarge. He'll dump it in the corner. Ben Farr again after it for Ithaca. Rips it around the boards the other way. Pinching in his horn, he'll dump it in behind the net. Coming back after it, the forward, Paskey Flulage. Around the boards it goes. There's going to be a penalty, and the whistle blows. That happened behind the net, and it's going to be an elbow call against the Red Raiders, I believe. I think Hadler's going to pick that up.
Jeremy Hadler picking right up his aggressive forecheck and that he picked up in Potsdam. He was really handing out some thundering checks the other night, and he's continued that tonight. But that time he got the elbow a little high. And he's quite tall anyway. He's 6'2", and that elbow got up, and Little Red going on the power play.
Hadler gets the call, and he'll set in the box for at least, well, we'll see how long. Off the draw, the puck controlled by Ithaca to the Massena line. They'll dump it in the corner. Around behind the net it goes. Erickson after it. He and Miller spar. Miller comes away with the puck. Takes it back in the corner again. He and Erickson battle. Finally squirts free. Ithaca controlling. Back to the blue line. Here's a shot from the point. Is fired wide. That shot taken by Neustraub. Back to the other point it comes. They move it to the 45. Back to Neustraub. Can he keep it in the zone? He does. He dumps it in behind the net. After it there, Ithaca trying to control it as they move it around the horn. Back to the other point. Here's a drive through traffic, knocked away. Puck back out by the blue line. Another shot. LaFrance makes a save, and this time he gave up the big rebound, but the Little Red player was too close and couldn't lift it over him, and we say LaFrance covers up for the faceoff.
Somebody lost some coverage back there because LaFrance did make the save, and number 21, that's Jimmy Carroll, or is that, no, that's 27, excuse me, Erickson, all alone in front, picked up the rebound, and we say stuffed him.
Off the faceoff, Alan Borden moves it along the boards, doesn't clear. Here's a shot right on. LaFrance, big rebound, makes the save on Wise rather. Wise didn't get much on it, fortunately. Now the puck right across the crease, but it's knocked away. To the blue line. Here's a shot off a skate to the other point. Dumped into the corner. Picked up there by Alan Borden. He finds the hole and dumps it down the ice.
A lot of pressure by the Little Red in this first power play opportunity.
Red control in their own end. Out to the Massena line. Borden picks it up there. Flips it ahead. Back it comes in Massena territory. Bounces free. Raiders lift it high in the air. Petrie can't clear the zone. Puck kept in at the point by Brennan. He'll dump it behind the net. Alan Borden trying to battle for it. Penalties elapsed, but the Little Red have the puck in the Massena zone. They control it. Borden trying to throw a check. The forward escapes, takes it right in front, fires it, and the save is made by LaFrance. Hadler picks up the loose puck. Knocked away from him in the corner, Massena zone. There's a battle for it. Labarge finally ties it up. We'll have a whistle and a face-off. The Raiders dodged the penalty bullet there, or at least the power play bullet, but I'll tell you, Ithaca came close a couple of times.
I'll tell you, baptism under fire. The Raiders throwing everybody out there. Young Alan Borden, first year, a converted forward. He's out killing penalties, and this Little Red forwards, they're so fast, so quick. They're tough to handle.
Off the draw, the puck comes in behind the net. Cleared around the boards by Ian Maxwell. Knocked away. Maxwell gets it back again. He'll flip it ahead. That's intercepted. Here's the puck in the slot. Fired wide on the backhand. Right across the goal crease. And again, it's Yale Lair. Raiders having trouble moving those forwards out from in front of the net. Now the puck picked up. Raiders throw it away in behind the net. Bouncing in behind again. They try to center. LaFrance covers up as the puck came right through his crease, and he'll hold on for the faceoff.
Not only are they having trouble with the physical aspect, the speed down low, very, very quick, all three lines. Just buzzing all around that Raider net, and the Massena's defense hasn't figured out a way to handle them with a little over 6 minutes, a little less than 6 minutes played in this first period.
It's going to be Rogers out there now. Off the draw, the shot goes in behind the net. Danny Miller picks up the loose puck. Miller steps by the check. Starts out left side. Here's Miller. Looks ahead. He'll flip it off Rogers' stick. Intercepted. Dumped back to the Massena line. Miller will try to pick it up again, takes a whack at it, and flips it ahead to Rogers. Here's Rogers from the red line. He'll dump it right on. It's finally gloved by Grossman, and he gets his first save of the night from long range, and the faceoff will come in Ithaca territory. 9:03 left first period, and on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard, 1-0 Ithaca.
Unofficially, the shots up to this point, 9 in favor of Ithaca, 1, as you mentioned just a second ago, for the Raiders.
Off the draw, Rogers in the corner. Can't control it. Goes back to point. Miller gets a shot off. It's blocked. And the puck clear to the blue line out to center ice and all the way down the ice. That'll roll on end for icing. And the faceoff will move back in Ithaca territory.
Raiders back in action tomorrow, taking on the West Genesee Wildcats, and we'll be on the air, the second game of a doubleheader. Get a chance to come down to Massena Arena and see some good hockey tomorrow afternoon.
Tubolino out there now with Hadler and Petrie, Maxwell and Borden playing the points for Massena. Off the draw, Tubolino can't come up with it. It goes off to Neustraub. Big defenseman for Ithaca, moves it around the boards to the blue line, and it's kept in momentarily, bouncing around and bounces out to center ice. Now Tubolino with a stick on it. Maxwell pinches ahead trying to come up with it. He can't. Puck taken off his stick by Welch. He flips to the red line. Borden's there to stop it and dump it right back inside Ithaca territory for Massena. Goaltender Grossman clears it around the boards and out to center ice. Tubolino circles back after it at his own blue line. Tubolino, long headman pass, and it hit one of the Ithaca players at the red line. Tubolino picks it up, flips to the blue line of Ithaca. Hadler gets a piece of it but falls down, and the puck is dumped all the way down the ice inside Massena territory. Borden back after it. Borden looked up and saw an Ithaca forward on him. The puck goes free, bouncing in front. Here's a shot. Where is it? It sits in the slot, and finally it's in the corner as Tubolino got a stick on it, and he'll move it ahead. Here's Tubolino, headman to Hadler. Hadler takes it across the red line, across the blue line, as the Raiders will make a line change. He dumps it in the corner. Ben Farr picks it up. Farr flips it ahead, intercepted by Labarge. He'll dump it right back in Ithaca territory. Puck in behind the net. It's Tomaselli along the boards. Doesn't clear. Now it's out to center ice. And here comes Ithaca breaking down in the zone. Yale Lair with it. And Labarge just falls and poke checks it. The puck cleared across the crease. Here's a shot knocked down in front, and it'll go into the corner. Yale Lair after it for Ithaca. He's taken out of the play, but gets a stick on it. Bounces into the circle. Here's a backhander knocked away by Labarge. He takes a whack at it. Bounces into the circle. Finally picked up by the Raiders. Not out of the zone. Again, a chance to clear the puck. Here comes Labarge. This time he looks up and does clear the puck, and it's on the stick of Darling, but he can't gather it in. Right back comes Ithaca, and they'll just poke it in the Massena zone as they make a line change. French in there now with his line mates. In the corner. Here's French. He's got a man busting in, but he couldn't get him the pass. Now it's in the circle. It trickles in on net, and it's knocked to the side of the net, and finally LaFrance covers up and holds on for the faceoff. Had the chance to cover up and poked it back into the fray, and it came right back at him. Second time he covered up.
Just going to comment on that. When your team is running around like gangbusters out there, you've got to take a faceoff, and we say he's got to realize that, recognize that. You get an opportunity to freeze that puck in that situation, grab it as quick as you can.
Faceoff inside Massena territory. Off the draw, the puck side of the net. Raiders, though, will break it out. Here comes Adam Smith down the right wing side. He's got Trent Thomas. He'll dump it around the boards. In behind the net it goes. Thomas trying to come up with it. He can't. Knocked away. Puck comes out toward the blue line and out to center ice. Dumped right back in by Rogers. Massena gets onside. Comes back after it as Stamen comes up with it. Big defenseman for Ithaca. High off the glass. Doesn't clear. Kept in nicely by Miller. Trying to barge his way through, but it's stolen away. Back comes Ithaca the other way. Into the Massena zone. Here's a shot from center ice, turned aside by LaFrance, picked up by Rogers. He'll rip it around the boards for Danny Miller. Miller gathers it in, takes it out to center ice. Here comes Miller with it, barges his way into the Ithaca zone, gets by one. Here's Miller in the corner. Finally, he's knocked down, still gets up with it, falls down. The puck is free, and Ithaca coming back with it. Little Red moving it out to center ice. Miller trying to go end to end. It didn't work. That's going to be dumped in the Massena zone. In behind the net, Witka throws a check. Where's the puck? Bouncing around. And it's controlled by Ithaca. They move it back. No, they feed it in the corner where it's intercepted. They get it back again. Here's an opportunity for the Little Red, but it's stolen away. Back toward the blue line, but not out of the zone as Miller got a piece of it. Now here's the puck bouncing in front of the net. Miller knocks it down, and he and Hadler go together, and the puck goes in behind the net. Hard check thrown there. It bounces side of the net, and LaFrance is going to cover up and hold on for the faceoff.
I'm sure the Raider defensemen thinking there are 6 forwards out there, not 3, because they've got an abundance of speed, and they're just pressing. 3 men down low, and
Coach Armstrong told you they were weak up front?
He said no. He didn't say they were weak up front. He said the strength of their club is their goaltending and defense.
Well, maybe so, but they're not too bad up front either.
Not at this
juncture of the game.
This stage, they're looking pretty good.
Here's Kyle Cameron, has it poked away, dumps it ahead. There's a battle for it along in front of the penalty box, and there's still a battle for it. Cameron does come up with it, flips it ahead, but there it's intercepted. And back the other way comes Ithaca. They'll dump it in the Massena zone all the way down the ice for icing, and the faceoff will move back in Ithaca territory. 5:05 remaining in the first period. IceHawk's custom screen printing scoreboard says 1-0 in favor of Ithaca.
Coach Armstrong didn't want to tell me too much after he saw my Red Sox hat on. He's our cap, I should say, big Yankee fan, and he and I had a good laugh about that.
Off the faceoff, won by Ithaca, picked up by the defenseman Ben Farr. He'll rip it around the boards to the blue line, and Massena can't keep it in. Bounces out now. Darling turns it around, has it knocked away, picked up by Horan. Horan hit a funny bounce. He'll have to come back and get the puck at his own blue line. Patrick Horan with it, looks, bangs it ahead, bounces to the Ithaca line. They start to move it ahead into the Massena zone. Into the zone it goes on the off wing. Is Lamb. Lamb knocked away. Raiders break it back the other way. Kyle Cameron. Cameron ahead to Mark Darling. Darling stick handles. He's all by himself as the Raiders are making a line change, and they dump it back out to center ice. Here comes Adam Smith trying to barge his way through. Puck knocked away. Now it's dumped from Ithaca down the ice again, and it'll be another icing call against the Little Red.
This line of Trent Thomas, David Rogers, and Adam Smith had a great night the other night against the Sandstoners. Came up with 5 points. Rogers and Petrie each getting a goal. Great effort out there. And Adam Smith getting an assist on the game-winning goal by Jacob Whitcup.
Face off right side, inside Ithaca territory. Off the draw, the puck sits in the circle, clear to the point. And the Massena defenseman trying to shoot it. He couldn't get the shot off. It was partially blocked. And Alan Borden has to come back and dump it back out to center ice. Picked up there by the Little Reds defenseman Newstraw, back in the Massena zone, right back out again. Here comes Rogers. Rogers, headman pass. Trent Thomas gets a shot off, and the save is made by Dave Grossman.
Trent Thomas, nice little pass. Thomas skating hard down that left side without the puck, and David Rogers just at the blue line. Short pass hit him right on the tape, and Thomas going in on that left side just below the dot. From a pretty tough angle, but had a little mustard on it, but Grossman had no problems corralling that one.
Face off right side, off the draw, back to the point. Here's a drive by Whitcup. It's deflected off a player and goes up into the screen behind the net.
Raiders won the draw, but Jacob didn't step down. He waited till the puck came to him, and by that time it allowed the Little Red forward to go out and slide across and get his body on it. But if he would have stepped down a little quicker and cranked one up, would have had a little bit better shot at the net.
They'll move the face off out by the blue line. Off the draw, it's out to center ice. Whitcup's there to dump it right back in. In behind the net it goes, corralled by Ben Farr, the defenseman. Clears it back toward the blue line and out to center ice. That was a battle for it. Poke check by Miller. Back to the Ithaca line. Tomaselli's there to dump it back in Massena territory from the red line. Jake Whitcup with it. Turns around in behind his own net. He'll kick it to Miller. Good heads-up play there. Miller goes ahead to Sean Petrie. Petrie breaks out. Headman pass. Kicked ahead. Here's Tubolino. Tubolino takes it in the corner. Is checked, but stays with it. Here's Tubolino, tied up behind the net, still battling for it. Goes to the side of the net. In behind, Hadler doing a good job. Where's the puck? Now Tubolino squirts it free. They battle for it along the boards. It finally is come away with by Tomaselli, the Ithaca defenseman. And he clears it along the boards to the blue line. It trickles out to center ice, where Miller picks it up. Looking up ice. He's got some room. Here comes Danny Miller. Takes it in the zone. Gets by the defense. Miller backhand. And he missed the net, but not by much. Trent Thomas pinching in. Can't keep it in. Goes by Rogers out to center ice, but Miller's there. Backhands it ahead. But here comes Ithaca back the other way. Into the Massena zone. Miller's back to poke it away. Into the corner it goes. Miller tying up the man. And there's a battle for the puck. And they're going to blow the whistle as it's tied up.
Great read by defenseman Danny Miller as he picked up the puck in the neutral zone, realized that Ithaca was making a line change, and the entire line had went to the bench, and there were just 2 defensemen out there, and he jumped in down into the play and had a nice move down that right side, got around the defenseman half step, and a good backhanded shot from a tough angle.
Face off inside Massena territory. Raiders try to break it out of there, but it's knocked down by the defenseman. He'll flip it in. And Massena's going to be called for gloving the puck as Horan got it caught in his glove. I don't think he meant to do that, but he did carry the puck, and the face-off will move back to the top of the circle, Massena zone.
Yeah, the official was going to let him go, and he said, but after he took the 3 strides, but it's still in his glove, he said, well, maybe I better
Got
call
to make that call, and that's the right call.
You bet it was the right call, no question.
Thomas Wise to take the face-off against Rogers, top of the circle, Massena zone. Wise wins it. It's flipped into the corner, but intercepted by Labarge. He banks it out to center ice. Picked up there by Brennan. Brennan hit the official with it, and right there is Trent Thomas to pick it up and dump it behind the net inside Ithaca territory. Adam Smith cruising in the corner, over skated. Puck comes back to the blue line. Horan keeps it in there and flips it back in the corner. Bouncing puck, Rogers trying to come up with it, but it's cleared away. Horan takes a whack at it. Now the Little Red will pick it up and clear it out to center ice. I think there's going to be an offsides as it came back in quickly. We're down to 2:05 left in the first period, and on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard, Ithaca leads Massena 1-0.
Things that make you feel old. Talking to Coach Armstrong before the game, and he was talking about his granddaughter, and then I happened to think, oh my goodness, Coach Armstrong, I coached when he was playing in high school, and we played Ithaca.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about feeling old.
Well, you are, Coach.
Well,
you're even older than Con Elliott, aren't you?
Well, I'm not, but he claims that.
Here's the face-off in the zone. Raiders keep it in momentarily, but now it's picked up by the Little Red. They move it ahead to center ice, knocked away by Miller. There's a battle for it at the red line. Puck squirts free. Bodies are flying, and it's going to come to Jake Whitcup. Whitcup, he'll drop it over to Miller on the other side. Miller skates to the red line. He'll dump from there. And the Raiders are going to make changes here as the puck goes back in Ithaca territory. Tomaselli with it. Minute and a half left first period. Tomaselli headman. And into the Massena zone it goes. After this Yale Lair centering pass, but it's picked up by Horan. Horan flips ahead, not out of the zone, however. Back to the blue line. Shot is blocked and out to center ice. Back in again to lay off sides on the Little Red. Raiders clear it. Down the sideline. Along the boards it goes. And it's tied up there. That was Pat Horan trying to move it through, and he'll finally find the range and dump it deep in Ithaca territory. Tomaselli picking up the loose puck. Bounces off the glass. That's going to go all the way down the ice, but it's going to be right on net, so icing will be waved off, and Horan comes back after it as Ithaca changes. Horan's headman stolen away. Here's an opportunity in front. Shot fired wide. All the way around the boards it goes, and out of the zone. Here comes Massena trying to come up with it, but a good play by Ben Farr breaks it up. Raiders with a puck. Headman pass on the stick. Tubolino busting the head of speed, but he can't come up by the Brennan, the defenseman. Back to the blue line, out to center ice. Raiders pick it up. That's Whitcup dumping it back in. Massena's got to get on side. About 25 seconds. Raiders making changes. Ithaca looking to take advantage of that, but Massena gets on the ice. Here comes Ithaca, knocked away at the blue line. Raiders, Trent Thomas gets it out to center ice. Trying to headman it, but it's knocked away. We got controlling with a high stick by Ithaca with 15 seconds left in the first period and a 1-0 Ithaca lead.
Raiders dodged a bullet to Massena coming out of their own end, and coming off the bench, number 25, Brian Lamb for the Little Red. He read the pass. The defenseman tried to make up the middle, and he stepped in, intercepted, and went in on that left side, and he fired a rocket. It was just wide to the far post.
It will be David Rogers taking the faceoff in the Ithaca zone. Off the draw, the puck goes in behind the net, picked up on the defense by Tomaselli. He circles, picking up some forecheck pressure by Thomas, who almost steals it. Now the puck is cleared out to the neutral zone. Miller with 4 seconds left will dump it, but the Raiders were offsides, and the whistle blows. The period ends with the Ithaca Little Red coach, especially when it's cold and rainy. You're sitting in that duck blind. I did it once, and that was it. Off the face-off, Danny Miller with it, and he'll dump it deep in Ithaca territory. And we're underway here in period 2. In the zone, Little Red coming up with it. They'll shovel it along the boards. Raiders pinching in, trying to keep it in. Whitcup does for a moment, but now Ithaca will follow up and take it out to center ice. Into the Massena zone, Miller with it. And the puck will trickle in on net, and we say LaFrance will flip it. One of the Ithaca players is down on the ice as the Raiders move it to the blue line and out to center ice. He gets up just long enough to throw a check and throw it back in the Massena zone. Raiders break back out. Here's Trent Thomas. Across the blue line, gets a shot off, and the save is made by David Grossman, the goaltender. Thomas picks up the rebound, looks to center, but it's knocked away on the D, and it's dumped down the ice by Ithaca. Will it go far enough for icing? There's a foot race, and it does. I'll tell you what, John Yale Lair almost caught up with that.
And Brian Welsh, the big winger on that first unit, got really drilled at center. I don't know who hit him. I saw after the fact that he's laying on the ice, and he went to the bench in a lot of discomfort, and he's got his helmet back on, so I expect we'll see him the next shift, but he got his bell rung.
Tubolino out to take the faceoff for Massena, wins the draw, trickles around in the circle, and finally it's dumped in behind the net, where the defenseman Brennan picks it up, has it stolen away by Hadler. Hadler gets upended, and the puck squirts free. Ithaca controls to the blue line, and they just poke it out to center ice. Intercepted there. Massena's Petrie with it. Sean will dump to an open wing. Following up is Tubolino. He dumps it just across the blue line. Hadler gets a piece of it. Can't control it. It's back out, back in, back out again, and here comes Ithaca. Flipping to the Massena line. Picked up there by the Raiders. They clear it into the high slot, and the Massena defenseman has to dump it over the boards, and we'll have a face-off, probably top of the circle in Massena territory. Just underway in the second period. Coach's Corner scoreboard says 1-0 Ithaca.
That one unit of Ithaca's broadcaster, at least the play-by-play guy's nightmare. Names like Sam Paskin Fluledge and John Yale Lair. I'll tell you, all on the same line.
Those hyphenated
names. Ooh.
Face-off Massena zone, top of the circle. There's a battle right off the face-off, bodies flying. Finally, Evan Labarge comes up with it. He tries to flip it ahead on the wing, and it's back to the point. Here's a shot way wide. It'll go to Kyle Cameron. Cameron tries to clear the zone, doesn't, and I think he heard the footsteps as the puck comes right across the goal crease, and the Raiders will come back and try to pick it up. That's Jared Bradish. Bradish moves to the blue line, not out of the zone, and it's still kept in the zone by Ithaca. And there's going to be a whistle and a penalty, and I think we're going to have our first penalty against Ithaca. And it's going to be an interference call.
Jared Bradish, who is the last couple of games has really started to utilize that size of his, and has been out here those 2 or 3 shifts in that first period, then out here in this second period, laying some lumber on the opposition, and it's paying dividends.
Ben Farr, I think. Nope, that's not Ben Farr. That's... let's see here. Gabe French, who gets the penalty. Raiders on the power play. Mixed results on the power play, Coach.
5 for 33, 15%, a little better. They got 2 power play goals the other night. They had been horrendous up to that point.
And looks like the Little Red are very aggressive on their penalty kill. But here comes Massena's Rogers along the boards, trying to go to Trent Thomas. They both go down, and the puck is cleared back out to center ice to the Massena line. Evan Labarge back after it. He'll gather it in. And he gets knocked down. The puck bouncing free. Miller has to come and pick it up. Miller will headman to Petrie. Petrie skates down the left wing side, and he'll dump it deep in Ithaca territory. Puck bounces into the corner, and around the boards. Rogers lost his edge somehow and fell down. The puck bounces up high on the glass. Trent Thomas throws a check. Labarge trying to come in to keep it in, and finally it's picked up by Ithaca and dumped down the ice. The Raiders really looking disheveled in this power play.
Yeah, and David Rogers fell into the boards, lost an edge, and he's kind of discombobulated over there.
And now the Raiders will try to dump it deep, but it's clear to the blue line, doesn't get out. And it hit a player going onto the bench, and they're going to call offsides on it. And the faceoff will move outside the zone. We're down to 16 seconds to the man advantage, so the Raiders really didn't even get a shot on net in this power play.
Officials for tonight's game, a couple local guys, Billy Foster and Mike Eggleston calling the game.
Off the draw, won by Ithaca. Not out of the zone, however, as Cameron keeps it in. Puck deep in the corner. He throws a check on the defenseman Brennan. Where's the puck? It squirts free. Here's a chance. Miller trying to center it. It's off a leg. Back to Evan Labarge. He gets a shot, but the goaltender saw it all the way, Grossman, as the seas parted in front of him.
Oh, Danny Miller he's pounding himself on the head because
for not shooting.
No, he knows he had Jeremy Hadler all alone. It was a pass, and it was the right thing to do. Hadler all alone to the right of the goaltender, and he just couldn't get him the puck. It hit something on the way through. He saw Hadler try to go there, and good defensive play by the Little Red. But he just kind of, I'd like to have that one over again.
Matt Supernaut out there with Matt Hatch and Zepi Ogene for the first time tonight. And they give up a little size.
A lot of size.
A puck in the corner. I'll tell you, a check thrown there by the Raiders, Hatch, and the puck kept in the corner. Massena putting some pressure on. Hatch gets knocked down. The puck squirts free, and here come the Little Red. to the Massena line, or to the Ithaca line, out to the Massena line. Picked up there by Whitcup. Whitcup loses it. It just rolls toward the goal, and we say LaFrance will cover up and hold on for the face-off. 11:14 left in the middle period. It's still 1-0 Ithaca on the coach's corner scoreboard.
This line might give up a little size, but not a lot of heart. Not any heart. They're not big, but boy, they play hard. And good shift out there for that line of Matt Hatch, Matt Supernall, and Zepi Ogene.
They change lines, though, as Rogers comes out to take the face-off against Wise. The whistle blows. Wise was moving before they dropped the puck, so they're going to do it over again.
Well, they changed lines because Ithaca brought out their first unit, and Coach Latham didn't want to match up his 1 and 4, I don't think, at this stage.
Face-off right side, off the draw. Ithaca wins the draw, back to the shot, and the save made. Came to the point, and the shot was taken by Mike Brennan. And again, just like down at the other end, the seas parted, and we say LaFrance saw it all the way, but he did give up a little rebound, but covered it up quickly.
Yeah, we say he's got to come out off that blue ice when he can see that puck all the way, those 55-footers, and take away some of the angle.
Off the face-off, Raiders win the draw. Here comes Alan Borden with it, high off the glass to the blue line, but not out. Now it comes back to the point, kept in again by the defenseman Brennan. He'll drop it in behind the net. Puck slides into the corner. Rogers tries to clear, but is kept in and dumped into the corner. Borden again flips it in behind the net. Around the boards, and Maxwell tries to throw the check, but it squirts free. Here's a shot. LaFrance makes the save. Wise is shaking his head because he could have taken 2 more steps, and LaFrance was way back in the net, but he fired it right at his midsection.
Yeah, young mistakes along the boards. There was 3 white shirts along there, and the one red shirt, and the red shirt won the battle and came out with the puck, chipped it out in front, and they got a shot off. That should not happen.
Face off right side, won by Ithaca. The shot goes in behind the net. They battle for it. Darling comes up with it. He'll pass it, moving it around the boards. Cameron can't come up with it, but it's out toward the blue line. Raiders, Darling upended. The puck dumped into the corner. That was a shot that went wide. Back to pick it up, Tomaselli in the corner. Darling after it. They go together. The puck squirts in front of the net. Now behind the net. Darling ties it up. He's got it. Here's Mark Darling. Skates out from in front of the net. Lost it. Here's a chance for Ithaca, but the puck fired wide. Picked up by Labarge, and he just fires it into the stands. Good move by Evan Labarge. Raiders running around out there.
Smart move by defenseman Evan Labarge. They were running around, and in his position, he didn't think he could get it out of the zone by running it on the board, so he flipped it high up over the glass and made it look like it was accidental. Good move by Evan Labarge.
Danny Miller, the captain, out talking to Eggleston, the official. I don't know what it was about.
He's talking about tripping Darling and coming around the net.
Here's the puck, slides right on, almost on, but it's stopped there by Whitcup. Whitcup loses behind the net. Here's a centering pass to get a man free. A shot right on, save made. And again, Massena fortunate because the forward, Brian Lamb, was wide open, just didn't get any wood on it.
Very fortunate. There were shirts there, but no one laying a stick on them or a body on body. You can't be in the area. You got to put shirt on shirt out there. You can't let those guys, especially in that slot area, run loose like that.
Off the draw, puck bouncing around. Tubolino loses it off the end of his skate. Puck in the corner. Whitcup throws a check, stays with the puck, flips it around, and Hadler starts to move it ahead. Here's Hadler, doesn't clear the zone again. Puck bounces free in front. They got a man breaking in there. He comes right across the goal mouth as he tried to cut in front. Now the puck in behind. Bouncing along in the corner. Millard looking to tie it up. It squirts free. It's picked up there. Back toward the blue line. Here's a shot deflected into the corner. Hadler picks it up, and this time he's going to move it out to center ice. Dumped right back to the Massena line, and they'll just dump it right back into the corner. Miller after it for Massena. Picks it up behind the net. Flips it along the boards to Tubolino. Tubolino, backhand out to the neutral zone. Hadler throws a check, but the puck squirts free, and back it goes to Tubolino. He lost his edge again. The puck to the Massena line. They try to bust by the defense, but it's not going to get across the blue line. It's going to be a delay offsides, but Massena clears it. Miller is down, getting up very slowly, and the whistle will blow. No, I thought the whistle will blow. Massena dumps it down the ice, and that's going to be icing against Massena.
You mentioned Danny Miller in some discomfort. He's favoring that left leg, the left ankle, it seems to be. He's going to the bench now, but a good opportunity just a second ago by, I think that's maybe the second time we've seen that fourth unit of Ithaca, and that was Ben Lance sub Tome, or is it Tome, or Yeah, another one of those hyphenated names that came out of the corner with the puck right across the crease.
Off the face-off, puck in behind. Raiders lose it, side of the net. There's a battle in the corner. Finally, it's picked up. Rogers throws a check and manages to tie the puck up behind the net as he battles with French. And we'll have another face-off.
Raiders have to do a little better job defensive zone face-off. Just a second ago in that line, or the last shift out, the Wise line, they won 3 in a row and just picked the pockets and brought it right back to the point.
Paskey Flulage out there to take the draw. Raiders win it, however. It goes in behind the net. Alan Borden clears it along the boards and not out of the zone. Adam Smith, the chance to clear, couldn't do it. Now it's in the corner. Raiders flip it along and finally move it out to center ice. Trent Thomas with it from the blue line, fires it in the zone. In behind the net. Rogers trying to cruise in. Adam Smith is there. Over skates. Rogers gets it to Smith. He'll flip it to Trent Thomas on the other side. Thomas centering pass intercepted. Back to the point. Borden just slides it into the circle. Picked up there by the Ithaca D, and they'll dump it to the neutral zone. Down the ice. Jared Munson racing for it, but it crosses the line before either he or the forward could come up with it. Yale Lair, and the icing will be called.
We've played about 6 minutes and 58 seconds here in this second period. Not a lot of offense. Ithaca having the better of the play territorial-wise, but not a lot of shots. Massena's been able to muster just 1 on goal, with Little Red coming up with 3. Of course, those are unofficial.
Mark Darling to take the face-off for Massena. Off the draw, Raiders try to get the shot off, but it's out to center ice. That was Jared Bradish trying to stick his nose in there. Puck comes in behind the net. Picked up by the defenseman Brennan. Brennan stolen away by Darling. Centering pass, bounces back to the blue line. Evan Labarge steps by the check and then loses the puck. Fortunately for him, it's going to bounce back into the Massena zone, and it's cleared right back out to center ice by Horan. Darling picks it up. Head man to Kyle Cameron. Does the move by the defenseman. Cameron, and he overskates. And, you just got to make that final move, and it didn't happen, and back comes Ithaca into the Massena zone. Labarge trying to tie up his man. He can't, but the puck is centered, and Labarge is there as Ithaca's making a change. Back out to Darling in his skates. He loses it off the end of his stick. Stays with it, though. Here's Darling, gets it back again. Finally, he's double-teamed, and the puck comes free as Massena making a line change. Good to see Danny Miller back out there for Massena. Here comes Ithaca to the Massena line. In the zone it goes. It's Wise. His shot save made. We say LaFrance. It bounces free. Picked up by the Raider defenseman Labarge. Headman pass right on the stick. And in the zone it goes. That's Matt Hatch with it. Hatch trying to chase it down in the corner. Throws a check. Bodies are flying in the corner, but it squirts free to Ithaca, and around the boards it goes. Here comes the puck to the blue line. Out to center ice. Miller takes a whack at it. Slides in the Massena zone. Back out to the neutral zone. Picked up on the defense, Tomaselli. His shot from center ice is wide. Delay offsides on Ithaca, and the Raiders will clear the puck. Here comes Massena's Matt Hatch, and he's just going to dump. In the zone it goes, in behind the net. Picked up by the Little Red. There's a delay penalty, apparently, on Ithaca, as, no, the net's empty. What is going on? Massena's pulled their goalie. Here comes Danny Miller trying to barge his way through. What is going on? Here comes Ithaca back out to center ice. Into the zone they go. Here's the shot. Save made LaFrance, and he gloves it before it goes in the net.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And there's going to be a penalty. What was going on out there?
He read the delayed offside call as a penalty, and he went to the bench, and there was no one for about 25 seconds in the Massena. We say it was on the bench. Fortunately, Ithaca could not get control of the puck.
Oh, my goodness.
He misread the official. That's what it was. But if he wanted a penalty, he got one, because Jacob
Massena picked one up.
Yeah, Jake had to do a little hook here because Ithaca was breaking in on a 2-on-none a second ago. But I'll tell you, that'll give you goosebumps.
Wow. I thought, is that a new strategy? I've seen that done a few times. Here comes Massena looking to break it out. And it's Tubolino trying to go by the defense, and he doesn't. Dump back in the Massena zone. In some of those tournaments where, differential means something.
Well,
but that's a different story.
That's a different story.
Puck inside Massena territory. Ithaca on the power play. Back to the blue line. Here's a shot. It's blocked. And giving up the body to Bolino.
If you see a coach do this in a regular situation, he's not going to be coaching for long, I tell you. And the poor coach gets blamed, and it wasn't his fault.
We haven't seen that in a while, if ever. Here's Horan with the puck, backhands it to the blue line, out to center ice. Massena breaking back. Here's an opportunity for Petrie, one-on-one. Here's Petrie, gets a shot off and fired it wide. as Ithaca almost got caught on a line change there. Now the puck back to the blue line, not out of the zone. Now it's out to center ice to the Massena zone. Borden's there to dump it right back the other way. About 30 seconds left in the man advantage for the Little Red. Raiders a little more aggressive on this penalty kill, as in there dangling is Smith, and he steals the puck. Has it knocked away to the blue line, kept in there Maxwell. He moves it ahead to Smith, who just backhands it into the circle, throws another check. Finally, the puck bounces free into the Massena zone. They got a man breaking, and they can't get him the puck. It bounces in front, shot. Little France makes the save. Rebound in the corner, knocked away by Smith. Bouncing around, 6 seconds left in the man advantage. And here comes the pass, knocked away. Rogers trying to come up with it, he can't. Here's an opportunity in front, the shot. We say makes the save as the penalty elapses, and the Raiders hold on this time. 1-0 they trail on the coach's corner scoreboard.
We say LaFrance standing tall down there on this power play by Ithaca right at the end of Ithaca's shift. A couple of good opportunities, but again, we say this time making the shooter commit first and standing his ground and making the save look easy. But good job by goaltender, we say LaFrance, and good job by that penalty kill.
Off the face-off, the puck goes to Miller. Miller's head man to the blue line, not out of the zone. Miller again moves it ahead, kept in the zone, but right there the Raiders to break it out to Miller. Here comes Miller, busting down 1-on-2. He's got a player with him. Hadler trying to get it to him. He's double-teamed behind the net. But coming in, trying to come up with it is Petrie. Petrie gets tied up as they battle in the corner. Raiders, Petrie again trying to poke it free. Finally squirts to the Little Red, and they'll move it to the blue line out to center ice. And back in the zone it goes. Here's the Little Red winding up, short side shot, up over the net. Hadler picks it up but doesn't clear. Back to the point, shot right on. And the save is made by LaFrance, and the whistle blows.
I'll tell you, the Raiders dodged a bullet twice, one on the penalty kill, and just a second ago, the strong side defenseman elects to stand on the blue line, hoping to intercept or stop the breakout, and he doesn't do it, and Ithaca breaks out on an odd man rush, two-on-ones right in a row, and we say LaFrance has bailed out the defense. He just, to continue to do that and make those decisions, and they turn out to be poor decisions, you're going to be burned.
Off the face-off, puck, side of the net, picked up there by Horan. Horan loses it, gets it back again to Supernaut. He flips it around the boards, trying to go to Zepi Ogene. Supernaut follows up as Ogene tied up his man. Headman goes to Matt Hatch. Hatch from the blue line. He's just going to dump it in the corner as this fourth line doing their job out there.
Should dump it at the net.
Here's the shot by Labarge. Block gets it back again, fires it up on the glass in behind the net. There's a battle side of the net, bouncing into the corner. And racing for it there, Zepi Ogene to Hatch. Hatch just bodied off the puck, and it's picked up there by Tomaselli. Tomaselli being bothered by Supernal. And the puck comes to the blue line, kept in by Horan at the point. Horan takes a check, and the puck bounces free to the Massena line. Evan Labarge will dump it into the corner. Here's Labarge after it. And we have a whistle back behind the play, and I didn't see it, but it's going to be a cross-check penalty.
It's going to go against number 12, Sam Paskin Floulage, as he he could have called him charging, he could have called him anything, but he took a run about 6 steps and nailed the Raider player right at the Massena's offensive blue line, and Massena will go on the power play, and that was a good effort out there by that line of Supernal, Ogene, and Hatch. Hard work drew that penalty.
Face-off just outside the Massena zone, off the draw. Puck sits, controlled by Labarge finally. He'll look to headman, Petrie. He'll dump it into the corner. He's rubbed off the play. Ben Farr trying to come up with it. They bounce around behind, and Farr's got it. He'll flip it around the boards as the Little Red pick it up and dump it out into the Massena zone. Miller tried to knock it down going by, but he'll have to come back after it. He stops behind the net, looking up. He's going to wait and he's going to carry it himself. I thought he has it poke checked away by the forechecking Welch, but the puck bounces free in the corner to the blue line out to center ice. Picked up there and dumped right back in the Massena zone by Brennan. We have a whistle, and what do we got?
We got a penalty. Excuse me.
Is that Miller?
Well, he should have had one before, and he's going to get a roughing call. Number 20. It is Danny Miller, I do believe.
Yep, it is Miller.
He got away with one a second ago as he tried to make a move coming out of his own end, one-on-one, and the Ithaca forechecker spun him around and got a piece of him, and he took exception to that, and he upended the Ithaca player, and they yelled about it, but then a little second later he took a couple of shots at him and is going to get a roughing call.
Face-off just outside. 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders. Then Ithaca will go on a brief power play. But here comes Tubolino trying to barge his way through. Knocked down at the blue line. Trickle. No, it's still in the zone. LaBarge, Tubolino. He's got him in front. Shot. Save made. Best chance of the night for Massena, and a nice save by goaltender Grossman.
Great pass.
Back to LaBarge. His shot on the fly, deflected just wide. Puck in the corner, and Ithaca is going to pick up a penalty. Raiders control the puck, and now Ithaca will touch it, and the whistle will blow. And that was a trip or a hook behind the play. A hold? Okay, a hold.
Evan LaBarge keeping the puck in at the blue line, jumped down, and then he and A.J. Tubolino 2-on-1. A great pass from LaBarge. He sifted it right between the defenseman and right over to A.J. Walked right in, and he was looking, and as you mentioned, Grossman looking all the way, and again made the shooter commit first. Big save by Dave Grossman.
Face off left side. Raiders with a power play 4-on-3. Controlling the puck is Massena back to the point. Here's Petrie to the top of the circle. He'll go to LaBarge. LaBarge skates it back to Petrie. Petrie winds, fakes the shot, goes to LaBarge. Here's LaBarge through traffic. It's blocked. And here comes Ithaca back the other way. Uh-oh. Here comes Thomas Wise busting by the defenseman. He lost it momentarily, gets it back again, but Raiders got back that time. Poking the puck away to the blue line. Here's Wise with it. Finally, it's knocked away and out to center ice. Oh, boy, that was close. Here comes Evan LaBarge, head man to Trent Thomas. Now we're 4-on-4. Thomas, head man to Petrie. Petrie will dump it into Ithaca territory. Picked up by the Little Red behind their own net. They'll move it ahead to the blue line. Stopped by Massena. Now we got another penalty. What? Oh, is that Adam Smith? It's going to be Adam Smith.
For tripping, I do believe. He's going to. And now we're getting in we had one penalty in that first period, and we've had a rash of them here. 1, 2, 3,
He's going to call him for a misconduct, too, against somebody.
I didn't. It was a trip, and the fans took exception to it. But anyway, is a misconduct on that?
Yeah, he did. He called him. I think Miller got the misconduct.
And he's in the penalty box.
Yeah, he said something to the official.
Well, I don't. You can't do that, especially when you're wearing that C on your chest.
Yeah, you know, and they.
It's a 1-0 hockey game. Doesn't matter if it was a 10-0 hockey game.
Right.
Again, you're supposed to be the leader out there. You can't be picking up penalties. That type of penalty, especially when you're in the box.
That's right. I think, now I'm not positive that was the call, but I think it was against, I don't think Adam Smith said anything. I think it was Miller who said something. And the officials have a very low tolerance for any verbiage.
Well, they shouldn't take anything. I mean, this is high school hockey, and there's more to winning, losing, sportsmanship.
They called him a minor for unsportsmanlike, not a misconduct. Okay. That hurts. Well, depends. We'll see.
It hurts having him off the ice for
10
3
or
minutes.
7.5 minutes,
Right.
but it hurts, you know. So the net result is a Little Red on the power play now, 4-on-3.
And this is a 1-0 hockey game. It could go either way. You don't want to be taking those foolish penalties.
This is the first time we've seen any of this year. Off the draw. Little Red control into the Massena zone. Pass in front. Oh, and I think Weesay got a piece of it on the way by because they had a man breaking all by himself. Back to the blue line. Here's the shot. The save made by LaFrance. Chest high, and he holds on for the faceoff.
It was a nice play by the Little Red. The defenseman on that strong side carried it over the blue line, kind of delayed, and 7, Mike Brennan from the point, went hard to the net. They threw it across, and he just missed the pass. Or we say got a piece that you said.
And they're going to have a 2-man advantage here in a moment. Tubolino gets a piece of it, knocks it back toward the blue line. Here's a shot, the save made. Big rebound, but it's cleared by Rogers. He finds the hole and dumps it down the ice. So in 3 seconds, it's going to be a 2-man advantage for the Little Red. They've got the advantage right now for the next 50 seconds. So the Raiders got just 3 guys out there, Rogers, Petrie, and LaBarge, as the Little Red control. Along the boards, they move it back and forth. Here's the pass, side of the net, bounces in behind. They're trying to hit Wise with it. He's got it now. Back to the point. Here's Farr on the other side. Brennan, sharp, yeah, he shoots it in. Oh, man. That's going to be a goal, but, again, it looked like a pass that somehow evaded a goaltender and made it in the net, and that'll make it 2-0.
Well, Brennan from that right point, again, the Raiders passive anyway, but only have 3 skaters out there, packed it in low, and Brennan coming down that right side wanted to pass, but he couldn't find anybody to pass to, so he just shot it towards the net, and it surprised LaFrance, and it went right between the went through the 5-hole. And
that coming with just 4 seconds left in the period. Ouch. That hurts.
Big time.
So,
well, you know, you've got to live and learn. You can't take your frustrations out and by taking penalties, and it all started with the Massena on a power play,
right.
And the Raider player getting a roughing penalty, and when you take a penalty in your end,
off the face-off, the puck sits there, and finally it's dumped from the blue line at the buzzer, and the save is made, the buzzer sounds, and the Raiders give up a late. So we'll see. Okay, we're ready to go. Ithaca starts off on the power play, and I know the Raiders just want to kill this off and get back to normal here. Ithaca wins the draw, but Massena comes up with it and dumps it into the zone, back out again, and it comes to the Massena blue line and across the blue line. Tubolino steals it momentarily, has it restolen, gets it back again, pokes it in the corner, but coming up with it, the Little Red, they move it in front, but it's intercepted, and the Raiders will dump down the ice with about 12 seconds. In fact, they get a shot on net all the length of the ice. Here comes the Little Red, back down the ice to the Massena line. Horan has it slip by him. Horan racing for it. In behind the net, trying to tie up Thomas Wise. Penalties elapsed as the Raiders get back to full strength here, and the puck is tied up in the corner, and we'll have a face-off with 14-17 left in the third period. And on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard, it's 2-0 for the Little Red.
Good job by Captain A.J. Tubolino and Alan Smith up front, along with Patrick Horn and Evan LaBarge back on the points, killing off that 34 seconds.
Paskey Flulage to take the face-off against David Rogers.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Sam Paskey Flulage.
And his line mate out there is John Yale Lair.
Off the draw, the puck controlled by nobody. Back to the point. Here's a shot. Goes high in the air. LaFrance just lets it bounce, but what's the whistle for?
And no one can find the puck. Where? Oh, there it is. No one knew where it was.
So it bounced way up in the air, and LaFrance had it all the way, and he just let it drop, and the whistle blew.
He was probably the only one on the ice, and maybe only a few in the stands knew where that puck was. I didn't know where it was.
Face-off will come out by the blue line this time. Rogers off the draw, dumped into the corner, Massena zone. Whitcup in after it. He'll pick it up behind the net. Looks up ice. Looks up. Has it. Well, it went against the official in the way. Knocked around, and the shot right on, and the save is made. Puck along the boards. Finally, Massena will pick it up and move it out. Here comes Rogers. He's got Trent Thomas with him. Rogers stick handles in the corner, trying to drop it back to the point. Miller gets a shot off. It's knocked away. Rogers, sharp angle, save made by Grossman.
David Rogers picking up the rebound of Danny Miller's shot to the left of Grossman, and just about below the dot 2 or 3 feet. Didn't have a lot to shoot at, but he put it right at the pad. We got a penalty here?
David Rogers gets a tripping call. I didn't see it.
Must have happened just outside the blue. Neither did I, because as soon as he touched the puck, it wasn't a save. It was a delayed penalty on Massena. And it is David Rogers getting the gate.
I'm not sure what it's going to be tripping, but like I said, I didn't see it. So I can't comment on it as Ithaca controls the puck, and it's Owen Erickson into the Massena zone. Miller trying to force him wide and does. Erickson passes in behind the net. Miller still battling for it in the corner, and it finally squirts free into the right corner. Back to the point. They move it D to D. Pass is knocked down in front by Smith. Puck goes in the corner. Whitcup trying to tie his man up. He moves it ahead a little bit, comes up with a puck. Good job. Very good job. High out the glass, out to center ice. Here comes Massena into the zone. Tubolino shot. Deflects right out. Whoa, and the goaltender was going the wrong way as the puck changed direction, but he makes the save. Puck in behind. Ben Farr with it. Steps right in front of his own net and then carries it out with 40 seconds left in the man advantage. Gets by one check, winds up, and the shot goes wide. It's gloved by LaFrance, but it goes in behind the net. Picked up there by Ian Maxwell. Flips it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Dumped in the corner. Ithaca moving it around, and the defenseman fell down but gets back up, keeps it in. Here's the puck back to the point. Drive through traffic, save made. Big rebound, sits in the slot, and it goes into the corner as Ithaca just couldn't put a stick on it. Nobody could find that one. About 10 seconds left of the man advantage. Still in the Massena zone. Here's a sharp angle. Nope. They take it in behind the net. Turn around, wrap around. Save made LaFrance. And Tubolino picks up the puck, lifts it on the backhand, and that'll take care of the penalty as the Raiders dodge a couple of bullets but kill the penalty. Goaltender trying to pass. Rogers steps in front of it. Moves it in across the blue line. Back out again. Bouncing around to the Massena line. Picked up there by Horan. Horan gathers it, goes to Hadler too far, intercepted by Brennan. And Brennan just dumps it up into the Ithaca bench, and we'll have a face-off. Still 2-0 in favor of Ithaca. 11:56 left in period number 3 on the Coach's Corner scoreboard.
Massena running into penalty problems. 4 of the last 5 went to Massena. And that, not only are you playing a man short, but it goofs up your rotation, and it's bad. It's guys are sitting on the bench too long.
Off the face-off, puck cleared out to center ice. Horan is there to backhand it back in the Ithaca zone, right back out to the blue line, red line. Horan again, flips it ahead. Here's a chance, and the shot, and a nice save made on Jared Bradish as he got a pretty good shot off. Now the puck in the corner. Darling throws a check, steals the puck, and then lost it off the end of his stick. Comes back to the blue line. Horan can't keep it in. We've got a foot race for the puck. Ithaca gets there first. Yale Lair comes in front. Shot saved. Puck cleared back to the blue line. Nice check thrown by Jared Bradish to break up the pass. It's dumped back in the zone, knocked down by Massena. Kyle Cameron takes a wave at it and missed it completely. And down the ice it goes. Around the boards to the blue line. Back out, back in. Miller has to get back on side. Puck clear to the Massena line. Goes by Tubolino, but he'll come back after it as Ithaca makes a change. Here comes Tubolino. Headman pass for Petrie, who turned the wrong way, and icing will be called on Massena. Down to 10:56 left, third period, 2-0. Little Red leading Massena on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard.
AJ wheeling out of his own end, trying to hit Sean Petrie with that long pass in motion, but he figured Petrie was turning left, and Sean elected to turn right, and we had a face-off deep in the Massena end to the right of Louis LaFrance.
Off the face-off right side in the Massena zone. Raiders win the draw. Whitcup rips it around for Hadler. Hadler gathers it in. He's got Petrie breaking. He's got him. Petrie comes back. It's by the check, but Tomaselli got him enough off the puck that he couldn't come up with it. Back around the boards it goes to the blue line, out to center ice. Hadler flipping it ahead. Has it knocked away. Petrie's back there to drop it to Miller. Miller along the boards. Here's Tubolino. Tubolino takes it across, right down the middle. He's upended. The bouncer comes out to center ice again. Right back comes Ithaca. They might have a 2-on-1. They do have a 2-on-1. Here's a pass in front. Scores a goal. And it's 3-0.
Well, that was a 2-on-1 well executed. Number 21, that's Jimmy Carroll. That might be that fourth line's going to get that goal. We'll see who gets it. But they caught Massena after pressing. Caught Massena with 3 forwards up in the offensive zone. They turned it over, and Ithaca back the other way. We'll see who gets the goal, if it's going to be number 6. I'm not sure, but it was a great. The guy who got the goal went to the net without the puck, and Carroll made a great pass. And we'll say it is. Ben Lance up to me.
That's a mouthful.
It is. A nice goal by that fourth line.
Interesting, though, isn't it? The first really good goal of the game scored by the fourth line. Here comes Ithaca again across the Massena blue line. They're going to just dump it in the corner. About 10 minutes left to go in the third period. Raiders trail by 3 now, 3-0. Puck picked up in behind the net. And it's Massena's Horan flipping it ahead. Zepi Ogene. Ogene is Supernaut. Supernaut to Hatch. Takes it across. Hatch gets a shot off. Save made. Big rebound. And Zepi couldn't put a stick on it. And back the other way comes Ithaca. Puck knocked down. Bouncing around. Ogene trying it. Doesn't see it. Throws a check but didn't see the puck. Back comes Ithaca in the zone. Here's Ben Farr. Gets by. Well, he tries to get by LaBarge. Finally, he's knocked down and bounces the puck all the way out to the neutral zone. Picked up there by Stamen. Dumps to the Massena line. Right back it goes off LaBarge and back to Ithaca territory. Picked up there by the Little Red. They move it around the horn. Intercepted momentarily. It bounces around, and Alan Borden got a piece of it. He gets it back again, just inside his own blue line. Borden looking up ice. He finds Adam Smith. Here's Smith with it, trying to poke it away, but he can't come up with it. Back it goes to Munson. Munson clears it. Nice half pass to Smith. Smith goes to Trent Thomas. Thomas winds from the blue line. Fired it wide. The rebound bouncing around by everybody as the goaltender just out of the play. Here's Thomas, winds up through traffic, deflected by Rogers just wide. Back toward the blue line. Kept in by Borden again. He'll flip it into the corner. Intercepted and out to center ice, and down the ice it goes, but right in on LaFrance. And it's picked up by Borden. Here's Borden. Trying to move it ahead. He gets tied up, but Rogers is there following up on the play. He'll start out from behind the net. David Rogers with it. His pass intercepted at the blue line. Borden slides it ahead. Here's Thomas. Thomas just backhands it. We have a whistle. What do we got? Obstruction interference.
Going to go against Ithaca. That last goal coming for the Little Red, coming at the 4:38 mark. Ben Lance Subtome with Jimmy Carroll, beautiful 2-on-1, and he just redirected Carroll's pass, and we say had no chance. Massena's goal seemed to spur them a little bit. They've generated a little bit of offense. Let's see, they've got to certainly create some in a hurry, and they're on the power play.
Tubolino out there with Petrie, and also Hadler up on the other wing. Off the face-off, puck in the corner, and whoops, it bounces up over the glass into the stands, and we'll have a face-off.
Strength, as we mentioned, of this goaltender, according to Coach Rich Armstrong, was the goaltending and defense, and that's proven true here tonight. Raiders haven't had a goal, but Dave Grossman, big, good-looking goaltender.
Tubolino to take the draw inside Ithaca territory. Face-off left side. And the puck controlled by Ithaca. Around the horn it goes. Miller pinches in, takes a check, but the puck is clear to the blue line, bouncing around high in the air, and it trickles out to center ice, and it's backhanded back in the Massena zone. Picked up there by Miller. He gets tied up, knocks the man down, and is in turn tied up, knocked down. But here comes Labarge. Labarge moving it ahead, off a skate. Back toward the blue line, dumped back in the zone. And it's picked up there by Evan Labarge again. Raiders having trouble coming up with much of anything on this power play. Can't hear? Okay. So we will have a whistle and another face-off.
Oh.
How's that?
There we go.
Sorry about that, Coach.
It's all right.
I must have bumped it.
That power play that was 2 for 6 the other night is not certainly picked up in the same vein tonight. Of course, the could be that the opposition is a little tougher defending against it, but they certainly look kind of pathetic at times.
Off the face-off, Labarge trying to flip it ahead. Here comes Rogers, winds up, shot save, and it goes bouncing side of the net, and it's covered up by Grossman. I thought that was going to go back up into the screen, but it didn't make it. It dropped, and Rogers took a whack at it, trying to knock it out of the air, but he missed.
Rogers took the initial shot from about 20 feet out and hit Grossman high up on the chest and went straight up in the air, and everyone's looking. Rogers knew what it was. He went to the net and got his own rebound.
Rogers will take the face-off, and the puck cleared out to the neutral zone. Miller back after it for Massena. Circles at his own blue line. Comes ahead with it, has it stolen, and it's dumped deep in Massena territory. In the corner it goes. Rogers after it for Massena, trying to flip it ahead to Evan Labarge. Labarge moving it ahead, but his pass is intercepted on the defense by Tomaselli. Tomaselli has it knocked down by Miller. Miller backhands inside Ithaca territory. They got a man coming off the bench. He's going to break in all by himself. Now he takes it behind the net, short side shot. LaFrance covers up. Actually, he was pretty wide, and he didn't really have much of a chance. It looked worse than it actually was. Now Massena comes back the other way. Thomas cranks it up. It's blocked. Trying to follow, but it's back toward the blue line. Out to center ice. Both teams made some changes. Puck squirts free. Picked up by Petrie. He takes it back across. Winds up. Glove save. May have been high, but gloved anyway by Grossman.
Both teams guilty of running around a little bit right now and giving up some good scoring opportunities. Both clubs unable to finish, but kind of running around out of position. And that one you talked about, that was Jimmy Carroll from that fourth line off the bench. And what happened, I think it hit a stick on the way over. If not, it redirected. If not, he was in clear from the blue line.
And he ended up being too deep, and he got a shot off, but it was right along.
Tough angle.
Yeah, very tough angle. Off the draw. Puck in the corner to the blue line, kept in at the point by Massena. They bounce it into the corner. but it's picked up by the Little Red. Back toward the blue line and out to center ice. Whitcup can't keep it in. We've got a foot race for it. Yale Lair is breaking in on the right side. Shot and a save made. Whitcup picks up the rebound. He'll just flip it ahead along the puck boards, out to center ice, back in again. And it's going to be Alan Borden picking it up. Under 6 minutes to go. Raiders trail by 3. Here comes Alan Borden. He'll just dump from the blue line right on, and the save is made by Grossman. Back comes Ithaca. They got a man breaking. Can they get it to him? They didn't. He almost did. Whitcup picks up the loose puck, kicks it ahead, but it's intercepted. And right back come the Little Red, and that is Thomas Wise. Wise takes it across. There's going to be a penalty on Massena, as back-checking Kyle Cameron knocked them down, and that'll be a holding call, I believe.
And on that previous shift...
Hooking, I guess, is the call on Cameron. So the Little Red will go on the power play here. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough for Massena to come back now.
Was a big hill before, now it's a big mountain.
Like Everest?
Yeah.
Is that big enough for you, Coach? Puck around the boards. Raiders just trying to clear it, but it's kept in by the Little Red. Bouncing around in the corner. They move it back to the point. D to D. And the shot is, well, it was kind of slid off the end of his stick, but he's got it back again at the point. Shot goes wide and around the boards. Back to the point. They move it. Here's a shot. And it's gloved by LaFrance. That was headed into the corner, but he decided to glove it. Hold on for the face-off.
Again, it's a defenseman, if you're on the power play, defenseman's dream when you play a club against, like Massena does, when they're killing inside their own zone. It's passive. They shrink the box, bring everybody back inside, and the defense have all time in the world to tee up a shot.
Off the draw, it's going to trickle in on LaFrance, and it looked like he was going to cover, but he got away from him. Puck in the corner, and Miller trying to come up with it. He throws a check, but the puck squirts free. Ithaca controls back to the point. Here's a drive. That's wide. Bouncing all the way back to the other point. Into the corner it goes. Finally, the Raiders pick it up and clear it down the ice. With about 35 seconds left in the man advantage. Petrie back, trying to do a little forechecking, back out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Tubolino, has to wait for Petrie to get on side. Then he dumps it deep. And we have a whistle. What do we got now?
I think we got a double
matching penalties.
Matching. Yeah, it's going to be A.J. Tubolino, and we'll see who the culprit is for the Ithaca Little Red.
Yeah, that's another one I didn't see.
I'll probably call him each for roughing. Down right in front of, it's roughing. It's going.
High stick and roughing.
I can't pick. There's the number. It's 21. That's Jimmy Carroll. We've called his name a lot here in the last.
He's got a chance to play, and he's making the best of it, Coach.
Yeah, and he had a great pass on that third goal that he set up his line mate, Ben Lance Subtomi. Beautiful pass. They broke away in that 2-on-1, and Carroll feathered a pass right across. And Subtomi didn't. He just redirected, put the stick and redirected it, and goaltender, we say, had no chance.
So it'll still be a 5-on-4 power play for 25 seconds. Off the draw, quick shot, but it's blocked as trying to get the shot was Smith, but back comes Ithaca into the Massena zone, and the puck goes off the end of a stick into the corner. Smith in the corner, flips it ahead on the wing, out to center ice it goes. Here comes Kyle Cameron as Thomas got knocked down or fell. Cameron gets a shot off, but it's wide. About 5 seconds left in the power play. Oh, big check thrown by Smith. The puck squirts free, and back it comes to center ice. Here comes Ithaca's Brian Lamb to the Massena line, but it's stolen away there. The penalty is elapsed. We're back to 5-on-5 plus the goaltenders. Puck dumped deep in the Massena zone. Miller back after it. Danny Miller out to center ice. Headman pass Trent Thomas. Here's Thomas. He's knocked down, but dumps it deep in the corner, and the Raiders are making some changes here as Ithaca comes out of their own end. To the blue line, out to center ice. Alan Borden, poke checked away from him. Back comes Ithaca in the Massena zone, but Darling's back to throw a check and gets the puck in behind the net. Battle for it there. Bouncing around, still in behind. Finally, Darling's going to kick it ahead and move it to the blue line and out to center ice. It's by everybody. Back to the Ithaca line. Little Red flipping it to the Massena line. Borden's there again, moving it along. And the backhand by Bradish into the zone it goes. Cleared out to center ice. Borden throws a check, holds on with it, comes to Darling. Darling waits and flips it ahead along the boards to the Ithaca line. back up into the Ithaca bench it goes. And with 3:05 left in the third period, it remains 3-0 Ithaca on the IceHawks custom screen printing scoreboard.
Hardest check of the night just moments ago. Adam Smith, who just leveled big Cody Newstub, the good-looking freshman defenseman for Ithaca, who's a big one. And Smith just leveled him. I'll tell you, he's the toughest 155 that I've seen in a long time.
Off the face-off. Puck goes deep in Ithaca territory. To the blue line, kept in at the point by Massena, bouncing around. It squirts free, but the Little Red are going to pick it up and move it ahead. On the wing it goes to the Massena line and across into the zone, picked up there. Zepi Ogene. Now it's Horan with it. He'll rip it around on the other side, and finally it comes to Sean Petrie. Petrie to Rogers, who directs it down the zone, and they wave the icing off as Brennan comes back to pick it up. Here's Brennan out of his own end. He's going to carry it. And he'll just dump it from the red line into Massena territory. Bit of a bunch up right there at their blue line. Puck in behind the Massena net. Raiders look to move it ahead. Zepi Ogene to an open wing. Picked up there by Neustraub. Neustraub back in the Massena zone. Horan with it. Horan just backhands it out to the neutral zone. About 2 minutes left now. Rogers takes a whack at it right at the blue line. But it's Ithaca keeping it in. They got a man breaking free. And a hard check thrown right there. And was that Smith again? Who was that? Yeah, it was. And what did that do? It broke up the scoring play. They got to do a little more of that, I think, Coach.
He plays the body very well.
Here comes Ithaca from their own blue line. They're going to dump it deep in Massena territory. Puck comes to Labarge. Labarge skates it ahead, turns it around as he picks up a forechecker, and then moves it ahead on the stick of Adam Smith. Smith to Darling. Darling takes it across. Nice pass to Trent Thomas. Thomas comes up with it, dumps it in the corner. Around the boards it goes. Kept in there by Smith again. Adam Smith for Massena. Now there's a battle in the corner. Miller pinching in. Danny Miller's got the puck, steps in front, and he has it knocked away at the last second. Labarge, his shot, bouncing around, and it's gloved by Grossman, and he'll hold on for the faceoff.
I'll tell you, Adam Smith has caught the attention of the Ithaca Little Red because at his last shift out here, about 3 different guys took a run at him, and he got knocked down a few times. But I tell you, they're noticing because that all goes back to that check he threw on Cody Newstub just a few minutes ago.
Tubolino is back after his penalty, and he's going to take the faceoff. Wins the draw, back to the point. Miller, quick shot, save made, Grossman, and we'll do it again.
Unofficially, let's see what Sal has got racked up for the Raiders. Oh, that's the 9. They're 9 apiece unofficially in this third period. So again, you take out that little bit of with the penalties, the power plays or penalty killing situation, and the Raiders played really well tonight.
Off the faceoff, puck comes back, circle. Petrie fired it in behind the net. Racing for it there is Tubolino. Circles. Here's Tubolino. Steps in front. Can't get the shot off. He's knocked down. Bouncing puck. Ithaca will ice it. And down the ice it goes. The whistle will blow. Of course, right now, Ithaca looking for that shutout.
Raiders have been shut out once this year against Williamsville North, 7-0. And they certainly, of course, again, they don't have a lot of experienced scorers on this team. They don't have a lot of experience, period. And scoring goals is one of their handicaps. But that's why you can't give up those shorthanded.
Right off the faceoff, shot didn't get through. Clear to the blue line. Miller, quick snapshot. Into the corner it goes. They battle for it. Picked up by Tubolino. Short side shot is blocked by the D. Picks it up off the backboard. Stick handles back to the point. Miller cranks it up through traffic. Score! And the Raiders break the shutout. Danny Miller, I don't know if it got deflected, but it's 3-1.
Danny Miller from that left point. Raiders putting on all kinds of pressure. Ithaca trying to clear it, ran it on the boards on the left side, but Massena with everybody up, gambling, taking a chance. Danny Miller pinched down, took just a one-time motion from probably about 45 feet on that left side. A lot of traffic, and again, I'm like you, I don't know if it hit something, but goaltender Grossman never saw it.
Hadler gets the goal, his first of the year, on the
Hadler.
deflection. And now we're down to Jared Munson just flipping it back out to the red line. Here come the Raiders. Hadler again. Hadler gets tied up in the corner, stays with it, flips it in behind the net. About 15 seconds left in the hockey game. Puck comes to Tubolino. He digs for it, but it's stolen away by Brennan. Brennan just wants to waste time. Hadler just checks him. Puck goes along the boards. Munson throws a check, but it's going to be out to center ice. And it's Ian Maxwell right back to the Ithaca line. That's going to take care of the hockey game. And the Raiders go down to a 3-1 defeat, but two things happen. Number one, they played hard against a very good team. Number two, they broke the shutout.